Okay, so we've got ourselves a egg washer, very similar to the one that's sold by McMurray, but we didn't spend all that much money on it. So what we have is a small compressor bubbling through this 5-gallon bucket, and we're just using an irrigation tube for this egg washer. So you can see here that we've got it bubbling pretty good. Not so good that it's causing the eggs to bump around. So I'm going to take these eggs out that have been in here for 15 minutes, and you can see they look pretty clean. And here's the ones that haven't been washed. They're not so clean. So you can see they have a few specks on them here and there. The ones I just pulled out, there's a few specks. You can see down there a few little specks. So just to let you know what our bubbler looks like, I'm going to take the air hose off so you can kind of look down inside that water. And what we've got is just some standard 1/4-inch irrigation tubing that we used a hot glue stick to glue the tubing to the bottom of this 5-gallon bucket, and we made little holes in the 1/4-inch tube with a hot wire, a very thin gauge wire, just to make the air bubbles in the irrigation tube. So you see we have a couple of T connectors down there, I guess 3 total, to make our and it doesn't really matter much what you do as far as exactly how yours looks. So you can see it does pretty good. We have, I don't know how many holes we've got in it. Looks like about 4 per loop, and we've got 2 loops. So, you know, it makes it easier, it makes it a little faster. You still have to wipe the eggs off. Still got to dry them. And you can see at this amount of pressure, you just heard the air compressor shut off, so it doesn't have to run all the time. So it's a help. You know, it's not perfect, but it's a help. Okay, now we're looking at version 2 of the egg washer. Slightly smaller, 4-gallon container. It's square, a little easier to use, easier to set the eggs in when you're collecting the eggs, that they don't drop into the bottom because it's shorter. It's got a rubber cork on the side of it that drains very quickly. The first one we had a valve that took forever to drain. This one has a air valve that you can turn off the air supply to the eggs, so the compressor doesn't have to keep running. You can see the bleach bottle there. We put a little bit of bleach in, and about a tablespoon of borax really does the trick. The eggs are getting much cleaner now, and in a moment I will show you what the inside of this new improved egg washer looks like. So you can see how this works. It's a pretty good job of cleaning the egg. Yeah. Okay, so just to kind of give you an idea of what we've got here. We've got a piece of plastic that we cut out of the lid of one of these Kirkland Costco detergent buckets that kind of spreads the bubbles out, so to speak. It protects the eggs from the things in the bottom. And what are the things in the bottom? Would you please turn that off, and then we'll drain this out. So pull the plug on it. Okay, so now it's draining, draining, draining. And what you can see now is the aquarium tubing that we put in the bottom of this detergent bucket. And we use a hot glue gun to glue the aquarium tubing to the bottom. And also there's little holes. Oh, let me see, each ring has not that many. I think I put 5, maybe 4 in the smaller ring, and maybe 6 or 7 in the larger ring. I used a very small diameter wire and heated it up with a blowtorch to get it red hot, and then poked it in the tubing to make the little holes. That's not that critical. I mean, you can come up with your own way of doing it. We have this little blue tube here that enables us to pull out an irrigation tube. I don't know where that blue tube came from. Where did we get that?
I think it's 3/8 inch vinyl tubing, nylon tubing.
Oh, available at the hardware store.
Yeah.
So we got a little valve here that we can turn off. Anyway, it does a pretty good job. Actually better than our first version, especially with this blue thing that keeps the eggs from getting broken on the irrigation connectors. Tees. Take that back out. Yeah, see, there's 3 irrigation tees. There's also a beetle climbing up the side there, you'll notice. But anyway, there's 3 irrigation tees that make this, and you can make any configuration. It doesn't matter, just something that bubbles air. Alright, so there you have it, version 2 of the egg washer.